Hi and welcome back. Last week we started the story of Kannappan Nayanmar. Now Kannappan Nayanmar was born with the name of Thinnan, and we saw how he, being an excellent huntsman, had gone on an with his friend on a hunting expedition to catch a boar, and they caught the boar. After which he went up a hilltop when his friend Carden told him, "Let's go and check out the Kudumi Sami who lives on the top of the hill." And so they go up. And when they reach there, Tinnan forgets everything and sees the Shivalingam or the Kudumi Sami and wants to give the meat that he had hunted and the food and the flowers and water that he got from the bottom of the hill. We stopped at the story where our Shivacharya, who comes the next day, sees the mess, what he thinks is a mess, and he's very upset and angry. Now let's continue with the story. Our Shivacharya cleaned up everything and he put flowers, he put fruits, and he prayed and he tried to make it as clean as he could, thinking that some bad person had messed it up and I'm going to make sure everything is perfect. And saying he goes, right? Now the next day, Thinan comes back and he sees that everything is cleared up and he's so happy. Kudimisami ate everything. Now let me get some more. And so he goes and gets more meat and brings uses his mouth again as a water spout and pours water over the Shivalinga, places the meat, places the flowers, and very happily he leaves, telling Kudumisami, "You better eat like how you did yesterday." And then he goes away. Now, the next day, our Shivacharya again comes, and again he's shocked. He thought it's a one time thing. Once someone can do something bad, but another time, he just couldn't bear it. He came, he again cleaned, and praying this should never happen again, he leaves. But this continues. Couple more days. Now our Shivacharya is very distraught. He's very upset. How can this happen every day? And so saying, one day he sleeps. And in his dream that day, who else would come? Lord Shiva comes in his dream and he tells him, "Tomorrow, I want you to go to that place, to where I am, and hide behind the tree and watch what is happening. Watch what my favorite bhakta or devotee is going to do." With that, the Sivacharya wakes up. Lord Shiva, in my dream, and he's telling me to go and check out that place, check out what's going. So something's going to happen tomorrow, and he listens. He will definitely listen. So the next day, he wakes up, he goes to that place, he cleans up like he would do normally every day, and hides behind the tree. And from behind the tree, he watches what's happening. Soon he hears the whistle of Tinnan coming. Tinnan comes over there, and he sees that, yeah, today also Kudumi Sami was hungry and he has eaten very well. I have to get more food. Now, the moment he decides to leave the place to get more food, he sees something unbelievable. Kudumi Sami right before him, and one eye of the Kudumi Sami, right, the right eye, it starts bleeding blood. It starts falling. And Tinnan is stunned. What just happened now? How can you be hurt? He rushes into the forest. He goes and grabs some leaves. He squeezes the juice out of the leaves. It's a healing herb. He takes the juice, he puts it on the eye, nothing happens. He starts wiping the blood away from the eyes, nothing happens. Remember, our Shivacharya is watching from behind the tree. He is also stunned. He doesn't know what's happening. And so now Thinan is doing all of this. And suddenly a thought comes into Thinan. Maybe, why not? And he takes his bow, the arrow, and he beautifully scoops out. his eye. He's a hunter, he knows how to do that stuff. And so he wonderfully scoops out the eye and takes it and places it on the Kurmisami's eye. And can you believe it? The blood stopped coming. Tinnan is just wild with joy. Now, Tinnan is not thinking, oh, I just lost my eye over here. I should be crying and, I should be feeling sad. But instead, he knew that Kurumisami is happy now. Kurumisami is not hurt now. And so he's happy and jumping around. And as Sivacharya is watching this miracle happen, another thing happens, another shock happens. Now the Kudumisami's left eye starts bleeding tears. Tinnan just stops in his jump and he sees that tears on the other eye, but he knows the solution. He doesn't have to think too much. The first time he was thinking, but now he knows what will work. He realized, okay, I have to give my other eye. That's it, big deal. And so saying, he is about to scoop, and then he's thinking, if I lose this eye, how will I know where to place it? Right? And so that's when he decides, okay, I am going to do something about it. I have to, right? I need to place a mark on Shiva. And so he brilliantly realizes that he can use his other leg, one of his legs, and using the leg on the Kudumisami's left eye, he then tries to scoop out his left eye so that he can place it. And so keeping that leg on the Sami, he stands over there, takes his bow, and he's about to again scoop it out. Shivacharya over there is nearly crying. He wants to shout out and say stop, but Lord Shiva had told him don't talk or don't interrupt. And now when our Tinnan is about to do it, he hears a voice of wait, Tinnan, wait, Kannappan, wait. And miracle, this is none other than the voice of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva knew that Kannappan is going to scoop out his other one eye that's already left. And he stopped him. He came before him. And both of them then disappeared. So this is the story of Kannappan. Tinnan, the hunter who was ready to give up both his eyes for his favorite Kurmisami. But Shiva came at that moment, stopped him, and took him along with him. And our Shivacharya, who's there behind watching this entire, it was like a cinema for him, it was like a movie for him. Something is happening, unwinding before him. And the moment they disappear, he comes rushing out from his place and falls at the feet of that Shivalinga. And he knows he has witnessed an amazing miracle. And with that, he went about sharing the story of Tinnan, also known as Kannappan, because that's the name that Lord Shiva had given him. Kann means eye. So he shared the story of Kannappan with everyone. And today we know the story of Kannappan. And if even today, if you were to go to the southern state of Andhra Pradesh, in the southern part of Andhra Pradesh, we have the Bhakta Kannappan temple, which is what you see on your left upper corner. It is there today. That's a temple that's dedicated for Kannappan for his devotion to God. And below that Shivalinga, that Kudumisami, that was there a long, long, long time back, today it is a big temple, huge premise of a temple. And if you see the big Gopuram, that houses that Shivalingam. It is called the Kalahasti temple. And even today, many, many lakhs of devotees, thousands of devotees go to that temple. And how do we know the story of Kannappan? It is there in Sekirar's Periya Purana. He's one of the 63 Nayanmars. And what he is famous for is that devotion. He didn't know any scriptures. He didn't study anything. He didn't know how to sing songs. He didn't have to go to any temples. He just, with one act of devotion, he earned the place of a famous Shiva saint, which today we speak about it. By the way, the story really happened. There are evidences of it happening. but it can be a story to many, but it is something that really happened. So that's the story of Tinnan, also known as Kannappan Nayanmar. See you next week and hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.